Absolutely jammed tonight. You would think this was a postseason game with the amount of coverage it's getting. It was the front page feature on the Baseball Weekly this week talking about interleague play, and basically every major newspaper that's done an article about interleague play has pointed to this series as being the one the spotlight will be on this entire weekend. And we're set to go now as Brady Anderson steps in to lead things off against Greg Maddux. Now, the Braves and the Orioles did play each other a few times in spring training this year.
Last time, April 1st, Braves came out a winner in that one.
So you've got some history of these players having faced each other a little bit, but certainly not the individual matchups that you normally have where guys have had 30 or 40 at-bats against an individual pitcher. That just is not the case. Brady Anderson hitting .315. He has 6 homers. He has 34 RBIs, and he takes the first pitch from Maddux. Outside and high, ball 1. First pitch at 7:41. Bulova time at first pitch. Bulova available, and it's about time. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Anderson. He pops it high in the air, shallow left field. Back goes Blauser. On comes Klesko. Klesko makes the call and the catch. And Maddux has retired, the first Oriole hitter he faces.
Pretty good job by Ryan Klesko of jump-starting his engines out there. He only found out a few minutes ago he was going to be in the lineup.
Yeah, that was a very late scratch by the Braves. Kenny Lofton with some back spasms that caused him to be scratched from the starting lineup. And the change was made only about 2 minutes before it was time for us to come on the air. Here's Roberto Alomar now, second baseman, batting .289 for the year. Chops the first pitch toward short. One big hop to Jeff Blauser. Throws across to first in time. And the first 2 Oriole hitters quickly retired here in the top half of the first inning, and that'll bring up Rafael Palmeiro. Palmeiro hitting .282. He has 12 homers and 45 runs driven in. The Orioles on the tail end of a road trip. It's just been a 500 trip for them so far. They've won 4 and lost 4 and have really not been hitting much. One of the few guys in the order that has been is Palmeiro. He's hit .302 over his last 13 games, in fact. Left-hand batter awaits the pitch from Greg Maddux. And it's hit high in the air, right center field, fairly deep, but playable for Tucker. He's out there. He's under it. He's got it. And a 4-pitch inning for Greg Maddux. 1, 2, 3 go the Orioles in the top of the first. At the end of a half inning, no score from Atlanta. No score as we go to the bottom half of the first inning. Defensively for Baltimore, the outfield has Surhoff in left, Anderson in center, Hammonds in right. Around the infield, Ripken at third, Bordick at short, Alomar at second, Palmeiro at first. The catcher is Chris Hoyles, and on the mound, left-hander Jimmy Key. Braves, of course, familiar with him. They have seen him in 2 different World Series with the Toronto Blue Jays and the New York Yankees, and he's gone 3-1 in those postseason games against Atlanta. This year, he is 10-1 with an ERA of 2.56. And Jeff Blauser in the leadoff spot now. As Kenny Lofton, a late scratch from the starting lineup. Here's Blauser batting .343, 7 home runs, and 29 RBIs. Here's the wind by the left-hander Jimmy Key, and the pitch on the way to Blauser, and it's taken low and outside, ball 1.
Watching Jimmy Key pitch is a lot like watching Tom Glavine pitch.
Very similar styles. Here's the 1-0 pitch on the way. There's a fastball strike at the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Another good compliment you could give him. It's almost like watching a left-handed Greg Maddux, too. He knows how to pitch.
Yeah, these are 2 of the best going at each other here. Here's the 1-1 pitch on the way now to Jeff Blauser. It's outside, 2-1. Give you an idea how close these 2 guys are. Look at their lifetime records. Greg Maddux has won 172 and lost 106. Jimmy Key has won 174 and lost 105. Here's the 2-1 pitch on the way. Blauser swings, ground ball third, fielded by Ripken. He throws across to first in time. Blauser retired, 1 gone. And the batter will be Michael Tucker. Jimmy Key a little older than Greg Maddux, but he's also had some injuries that caused him to miss about 60 starts over the course of his career. 36 years old now.
That's 3 years, and you have to pop up the what if. You could very easily have over 200 wins now.
Tucker batting .314. He has 4 homers and 32 RBIs. Here's the wind by Key, and the pitch on the way to Tucker. He lines one over third into left field, base hit. And Michael Tucker becomes the first player to get a hit in an interleague game involving the Atlanta Braves.
No surprise seeing Tucker hit a lefty. He's up to about .370 now against left-handed pitching.
1 out with a runner at first for Chipper Jones, batting .286. His bat began to come to life toward the end of the road trip. .286 now with 7 homers, and he leads the club with 45 runs driven in. Key will work from the stretch. Tucker at first. goes over that way. Back safely is Tucker. This ballpark has really been buzzing tonight. Fans got here early, parking at a real premium, we understand, outside the ballpark. Here's the stretch. Throw goes to first, and Tucker back safely again.
Even in some of the reserve spots.
They sold standing room tickets tonight. 1 hour before game time. They'll do the same tomorrow and Sunday. They only cost $5. Here's the stretch. And the pitch on the way to Chipper Jones. Pop foul. Back out of play. 0-1 the count.
It's funny. I didn't get any calls of the offer of Silver Oak Cabernet for any of my tickets.
Didn't you? I thought for sure you would.
I guess our waitress from where we had dinner in San Francisco stopped that.
0-1 the count now on Chipper Jones. No score. Bottom half of the first inning. Tucker at first with 1 out. Here's the stretch again by Key. And the 0-1 pitch to Chipper Jones. Anthony East for a called strike, 0-2. Another sight tonight that we can't recall seeing in the last 7 years here in Atlanta. And that came during batting practice. Up until about an hour and a half before game time, they allow fans to congregate down near the dugouts to watch batting practice up close, maybe get an autograph. Pitches outside and the count 1-2. For the last 7 years, not only in Atlanta, but when the Braves go on the road as well with the big national following they have built, huge congregations of fans always behind the Atlanta dugout, maybe twice as many as you normally see against the team you're playing, whether it's here or on the road. Tonight, there were more people on the Baltimore side of the field, wanting to get a close-up look at Cal Ripken and Robbie Alomar and some of the others on this Baltimore team. Throw to first again, Tucker back safely. 1-2 the count, and Chipper Jones 1 out. The stretch by Jimmy Key. And the 1-2 pitch on the way to Chipper Jones, fouled straight back. It remains a ball and 2 strikes. Fred McGriff waiting on deck. Again, a throw to first. Again, Tucker back. Jimmy Key's been around the American League for quite some time. And Michael Tucker played over there, of course. So did Fred McGriff early in his career. And you would think that there might be some more Braves that have had some at-bats against Key in their career, but very few have. Kenny Lofton had 17 at-bats. Swing and a miss by Chipper Jones. Chased a high outside fastball. He is down on strikes, but that's it. Among the active Braves, only Kenny Lofton had any at-bats over there against Jimmy Key.
And at one time, McGriff and Key were teammates in Toronto.
Yeah, that's true.
I would imagine he had a few hacks at him in inter-squad games.
McGriff, 282, 9 homers and 39 runs driven in. 2 men out, runner first, here in the bottom of the first. And now time called, McGriff steps out. Now we're set. Here's the stretch. Runner going. Gets a good jump. The pitch is taken for a strike. The throw to second base is late. Stolen base for Michael Tucker. As the count goes to 0-1 on Fred McGriff for Tucker. That's his 8th stolen base of the year. And he is now in scoring position with 2 outs. And an 0-1 count on McGriff. Sign given by Hoyles. The stretch by Key. And the 0-1 pitch to Fred McGriff is over but low, and the count even. 1 ball, 1 strike. One thing that a lot of the Oriole pitchers were wondering is if they're going to get a few more strikes called when they pitch against these National League teams. National League umpires known for having a little more liberal strike zone than they do over in the American League. Here's the stretch and the 1-1 on the way. The breaking ball is low. Count goes to 2-1.
Best way I think you can describe the 2 strike zones, Pete, in the comparison is that the American League is a vertical strike zone. They'll give you lower and higher, but not wider. The National League is probably a horizontal strike zone. Top of the belt is high, but if you can come in the neighborhood of the corners, you're going to get the calls.
Here's the stretch and the 2-1 pitch on the way. Just off the inside corner. The count 3-1. The way it works when you play in a National League ballpark, as the Orioles are tonight, you use National League umpires. They don't mix the crews up as they do in the World Series. When the Braves play in an American League ballpark, which they'll be doing Monday up in Toronto, it'll be an American League crew working. So the Braves pitchers may have some adjustments to make, too. Here's the stretch and the 3-1 pitch on the way, and it's fouled straight back, and the count full 3-2. In fact, if American League umpires don't give you much of the corners, that could really hurt a couple of the Braves pitchers, couldn't it?
Certainly it could. Yes, it could. The one guy who might benefit from the American League park would be John Smoltz, because he does pop his fastball up quite a bit, and I think Mark Wohlers is a guy that will get some benefit.
But the other three starters, Maddux, Glavine, and Nagel, they need those corners to be a little liberal. Here's the 3-2 on the way now to McGriff, and it's just off the inside corner, ball 4. Fred McGriff walks, runners at first and second. And with 2 men out, the batter will be Andrew Jones, who in the initial starting lineup was scheduled to play right field, but he's the center fielder now as Kenny Lofton was scratched. Andrew batting .278, 4 homers and 15 RBIs. He likes American League left-handers.
Oh, doesn't he?
He saw one in the first game of the World Series last year up at Yankee Stadium. Andy Pettit
liked him the second time he saw him.
The second time just as well as the first. Here's the stretch by Key as the runners lead from first and second. And the pitch on the way to Andrew Jones. Little chopper down the third base line. It's foul. Fielded by Cal Ripken. Ripken tonight playing in his 2,378th consecutive game. The streak began back on May 30th, 1982. The Braves' third baseman on that day was Bob Horner. That's how long it's been that Cal Ripken has been playing and not missed a game since. Here's the stretch. There goes Tucker again. The pitch is taken low. No throw. Stolen base for Michael Tucker again. He swipes third.
Somebody's got a good read. I don't know if Tucker had it from the American League. Got a good read on Jimmy Key's timing.
Second steal of the inning for Tucker is 9th of the year, and that's another $20 in McDonald's food certificates in the McDonald's Steal a Meal contest. 1 ball, 1 strike on Andrew Jones. McGriff held it first. Here's the stretch by Key. And the 1-1 pitch on the way to Andrew. In the dirt, gets away from Hoyles, but not far enough for Tucker to advance, and the count goes to 2-1. Mike Mussina goes tomorrow for Baltimore against John Smoltz. Scott Erickson on Sunday against Tom Glavine. And the Monday matchup in Toronto, Denny Nagel against Roger Clemens. So the Braves are going to be seeing some pitching for the next 4 days.
They're going to be getting a taste of their own medicine is what it's going to be.
That's right, just like facing the Brave staff. 2-1 on Jones. Runners at the corners, 2 outs. Here's the stretch. And the 2-1 pitch, ground ball right at the shortstop, Bordick. He's got it, goes to second in time. McGriff is forced 6-4 for the final out of the inning, and Key is out of it. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left. At the end of an inning, it's the Braves nothing and the Orioles nothing. Well, Atlanta fans showing some of their Southern hospitality. A standing ovation as Cal Ripken steps in to lead off the top of the second. He's batting .286, 10 homers, 43 RBIs. Chops the first pitch towards second, fielded by Lemke. The throw on to first in time. And another 1 pitch out for Greg Maddux. He's only thrown 5 pitches in this game. He's gotten 4 outs. Obviously, the scouting report on Greg Maddux is the best pitch you're going to see is the first one. The Orioles have been jumping on that first pitch. 1 out, now the left fielder, B.J. Surhoff, having a great year. He's batting .342. He has 8 homers, and he has 40 RBIs. We told you the Orioles haven't been hitting. Surhoff and Palmeiro and Ripken. That part of the order right there. The 3, 4, and 5 spots have. The rest of the Orioles in slumps. Surhoff, a left-hand hitter. First pitch to him is low. Ball 1. Now the wind and the 1-0 pitch on the way, and it's on the outside corner for a called strike. 1-1 on Surhoff. Jeffrey Hammond's on deck. Here's the wind by Maddux, and the 1-1. Line drive, right center field. That's going to drop in. Base hit. Over quickly, Michael Tucker. Surhoff aboard with a 1-out single. First Oriole base runner of the day off of Greg Maddux. Now to bring up Jeffrey Hammonds, the right fielder. Hitting .293, 7 homers, 20 RBIs. He and Tony Tarasco have been, for the most part, filling in for Eric Davis. Davis is going to be out for about 8 weeks. He has to have abdominal surgery for an abscess. Davis was hitting .302. He was having a good year, so they're going to miss him. But they're getting pretty good production out of Hammonds and Tarasco. Hammonds a right-hand batter. Here's the stretch of the pitch. And he pops it foul. He's jumping on the first pitch, too. Back out of play, 0-1. One man out, a runner first, no score. We're in the top half of inning 2. Beautiful night here in Atlanta. Summer has finally arrived. Here's the stretch for Greg Maddux. The throw goes to first. Back safely is B.J. Surhoff. This Baltimore team, not a particularly speedy team. Brady Anderson leads their club with 9 steals. They only have 34 stolen bases as a team. Surhoff has just 1. Here's the stretch and the pitch. Right through there for a called strike, 0-2. One thing this Oriole team does have, though, is a very stable everyday lineup, with the exception of Eric Davis. The rest of these guys have been in there just about every day this year. Here's the stretch and the 0-2 pitch. Ground ball sharply toward short. Blauser down on one knee, goes to second one. Lemke on the first, in time, double play. 6-4-3 double play. That gets Maddux out of the inning. No runs, 1 hit, and nobody left. We go to the bottom half of the second. It's still the Orioles, nothing, and the Braves, nothing. The bottom half of inning 2, no score. Due up for Atlanta, Eddie Perez, Ryan Klesko, and Mark Lemke against Jimmy Key. Perez hitting .263 now for the year, the homer and 4 RBIs. He has been on a tear since that 1-for-25 start this year, hitting .438 in his last 11 games. Right-hand batter awaits the first pitch from Jimmy Key. Here it comes. It's outside, ball 1. Jimmy Key, 6'1", 190, was born in Huntsville, Alabama, lives in Tarpon Springs, Florida now. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and it's outside, the count 2-0. Originally with Toronto, then went to the Yankees for 4 years, had 2 very good years with the Yankees, 18-6 in 93. In 94, he was 17-4. Here's the 2-0 pitch, and there's a high pop-up left side of the infield. Shortstop Mike Bordick coming in on the infield grass behind the mound, makes the catch. 1 down. And that'll bring up Ryan Klesko, a late addition to the starting lineup. Hitting .250, has 11 homers and 31 RBIs. Starting pitchers in this series for the Orioles have a combined record of 27-4 with an ERA of 3.18. The 3 starters for Atlanta in this series, a combined record of 19-11 with an ERA of 2.70. So you've got some great pitching to look forward to in this series. The pitch to Klesko is a breaking ball strike in the outside corner, 0-1.
And also some of the classiest people you will ever find in baseball.
Great bunch of people. There's the wind by Key and the 0-1 delivery. Is low and outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. In fact, you look at the way these teams are put together, they're very similar in the way that Pat Gillick of the Orioles and John Schuerholz of the Braves look at an individual's character as well as his ability and making sure the chemistry will work on and off the field. There's a called strike to Klesko on the outside corner, 1-2 the count. Here's the wind, the 1-2 pitch on the way, popped up infield, left side. Ripken coming in fair territory, now crosses the foul line into foul territory, makes the catch about 15 feet inside the bag at third in foul territory, 2 down.
And people who like to read might be interested in knowing who one of their investors and their vice chairman of community projects and affairs is. World-renowned writer Tom Clancy.
Right, they've got Jim McKay is on the board, the old ABC sportscaster.
Another name that's going to pop up, Braves will remember from the Expos days, Kevin Malone is the assistant GM. What a good guy he is.
Here's Mark Lemke batting .228, couple of homers, 12 RBIs. And he takes a strike in the outside corner, 0-1. No score, bottom half of inning 2. Here's the wind, the 0-1 pitch on the way, and there's a strike in the outside corner, 0-2.
Used to be, the book was, let's run lefties against the Braves, but you're not doing yourself any favor doing that anymore. Tucker handles them well, McGriff handles them well. Lemke's batting average twice as much from the right-handed batter's box.
The 0-2 pitch just off the outside corner, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now the wind by Key and the 1-2 on the way. Strike 3 call inside corner. That looked a little familiar if you watch Tom Glavine pitch. He went outside, then came in on him and got a call strike for strike 3 to Mark Lemke. 1-2-3 go the Braves. In the second, at the end of 2, it's still scoreless. The Orioles nothing and the Braves nothing.
Noonan, Fayetteville.
Let's pause for station identification on the Atlanta Braves radio network.
Matthews Hamper House has wholesale prices on baskets, bags, bows, ribbons, cellophane, shrink wrap, crates, and more. Matthews Hamper House inside the State Farmers Market in Forest Park, your wholesale outlet for business supplies. Open 7 days a week. This is WMKJ Peachtree City and WCOH Noonan.
For the third, here's Don.
All right, Pete. Catcher Chris Hoyles to lead it off. Chris Hoyles is a big one. 6 feet tall, about 215, not 315. He swings and misses at the first Maddux offering, comes away empty, 0-1. Hoyles was a part of a trade that put a pretty well-known outfielder in the Detroit Tigers organization. He was traded for Fred Lynn. Line drive, right center field, coming in a hurry is Andrew. He dives and makes the catch. One thing you will see if you watch a Jimmy Key, a Greg Maddux pitch, you will see more good defensive plays simply because they work so quickly and they throw strikes. So the outfielders, infielders on their toes. The result right there, a diving catch by Andrew Jones, and there's out number 1. Trade we were talking about sent Fred Lynn to the Tigers, and it brought about a change in the rules a little bit, too. Here's Bordick. Bordick takes a strike. He's a product of the Oakland A's organization. He's been around there for a long time till signing as a free agent. Talking to Mike Flanagan, who works television for the Orioles. Ball 1 outside. He says that Bordick goes behind second and covers more ground and makes that off-balance throw as well as anybody in the American League. Slaps this one out of play, right side, 1-2. It used to be, when the rules were different in baseball, you would see a lot of clubs making trades the 30th and the 31st of August because you had to start getting a waiver period September 1st, so a lot of deals were made for pennant drives. From experience in one of those. Here's the 1-2 to Bordick. Chopper out in front of the plate, Maddux over, gloves, takes his time, throws a strike to first. And Maddux has faced the minimum, and he'll face his counterpart, Jimmy Key. But Fred Lynn was a guy who was traded, and they had a private plane fly him in. You're supposed to be physically in uniform that night with the ball club that you're traded to prior to midnight, August the 31st. That was then. So they had to circle around, and I guess they phoned in and said he's in the city, and there was a waiver of the rules. There's a strike to Key. And it led to a change in the rules that I think, you either have to be en route or you don't physically have to be sitting on the bench. 0-2 to Jimmy Key.
That was always kind of a silly rule anyway.
I thought it was a dumb rule. You have to be in the city on the bench. That was the old rule. The 0-2 pitch to Jimmy Key. Fouled away over by the Braves dugout. Nice play by the Braves ball boy.
Everybody giving Jimmy Key a hand for making contact, but I want to tell you what, when Jimmy Key was at Clemson before he signed his professional contract, when he wasn't pitching, he was the DH for that Clemson club. He's a good hitter, even though it doesn't get a chance to show it over in the American League.
0-2 pitch swung on and missed. That showed the lack of... He turns to Maddux, gives him a little smile. That was a heck of a curveball. Maddux sets him down 1-2-3. We head to the bottom of the third, still no score. To the bottom of the third inning, no runs a hit, no errors for the Orioles, 0-1-0 for the Braves, and this crowd would start settling in here around 4:30. Has been buzzing from the first moment, still buzzing right now. Here's Greg Maddux. And what are the chances Greg Maddux is going to see a hook from Jimmy Key?
Pretty good, I think.
Key into the wind, the first pitch. Over on the outer edge, that was a fastball, but in a good spot. Cal Ripken in on the grass at third. 0-1 to Maddux. Maddux hitting .036. Fouls the next one back to the screen. 0-2. Get ready, Greg. Here it comes. Curveball he threw Jimmy Keys was enough to get him kicked out of the pitchers union. Key shakes off one. Now he's set. And the 0-2 pitch on the way. Another fastball, and Greg stays alive, slaps it back to the screen. Still 0-2. The way he pitches, he might just drop a little change-up on him, though. Maddux with a word for Chris Hoyles, the catcher. Key into the line. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Grounded towards short. Up with it is Bordick. Off-balance throw. He can pick it. He did get a change-up, but Maddux made contact. Key has now set down 2, 4, 5 in a row. We'll go back to the top of the order and Jeff Blauser. In case you joined us late, just about, a couple of minutes before we were coming on the air with the starting lineup. The announcement made that Kenny Lofton, back spasm, had been scratched from the lineup. Jeff Blauser, who was hitting in about the 6th spot, moved down to the leadoff spot. Ryan Klesko changing the outfield alignment. Blauser grounded to third his first time up. Breaking ball lined up the middle, base hit. Jimmy Key just walks off the mound shaking his head. A hanger to Blauser, and Jeff shoots it up the middle. There's hit number 2 for the Braves, and here comes Michael Tucker.
Well, if you're going to move anybody in the batting order, Blauser's the guy to move. This will be the 2nd time this year he's hit in the leadoff spot. He's hit 3rd once, he's hit 5th once, he's hit 6th 5 times, he's hit 7th 8 times, and 8th 45 times. So he's hit all over the batting order.
And if you're looking for somebody to put in that leadoff spot, you're looking at on-base percentage. Blauser at .434 before that at bat. Tucker singles softly into left field his first time. Key sends the first one home, swung on, popped in and out of the mid, or maybe off the shin guard of Chris Hoyle. Harry Wendelstedt will take a look at the ball and walk about halfway to the mound to give the Orioles catcher time to regain his composure. If you're ever at a game and the catcher gets one fouled off of him, the umpire will clean a perfectly clean plate, as Wendelstedt is doing right now, and you watch. If the umpire gets hit, the catcher will take a little lap around. There is professional courtesy behind for the men behind the masks. No balls, 1 strike. Short lead by Blauser, but he'll draw the throw anyway. Jeff backstanding. Glad you're starting your weekend off with us here on Braves Radio Network. We hope you will spend every day or night that you can with us. Enjoy knowing you're out there. Tucker steps out of the batter's box. Like a little dust or something in his eyes. Michael Tucker wears contacts. His eyes dry out. And a lot of the time, Michael actually carries a solution in his back pocket that he has to put in his eyes every now and then. He's all set to go. Key again comes set. Ripken in at third. Pitch to Tucker, swung on and missed. Another good breaking ball. In other Eastern Division action, American National, the Yankees in Florida got themselves a pitching duel going. David Cone and Al Leiter, 0-0 going to the 5th on your Sherwin-Williams scoreboard. Key comes set, sends the 0-2 pitch home. That's hammered. Glove by Palmeiro. What a play. He tags out Blauser. Not only does he rob Tucker of what might have been extra bases, but he gets a double play in the process. And the Braves will put a 0 on the scoreboard in the 3rd. No runs, a hit, no errors, and nobody left. Through 3, 0-0. Top of the 4th inning, it's our Delta double play inning. 40,000 Delta Sky Miles will go to Helen Christian, who lives in Morrow. If the Braves can turn a double play in this inning. Anderson, Alomar, and Palmeiro. First 3 due up. First time up, Brady Anderson flied to left field. Maddux into the wind. The first pitch, swing and a miss. A high fastball, 0-1. What an amazing year for Brady Anderson last year.
Kind of hard to explain, really.
33 years old, 6'1", fights this one off the fist back behind the Orioles dugout. Yeah, how do you explain?
He had never had more than 21 home runs in a season in his career. Last year he hit 50. And if you think it might be continuing this year, it hasn't. He's back down to 6, which is more normal for what he normally would have at this time of the year.
He's in a hole 0-2. Maddux into the wind. Inside corner, call strike 3. How many times have we seen that? A comeback fastball, and Anderson will drag his timber back over to the dugout.
We should point out he's been playing all year with a cracked rib, which might account for some of the lack of power, but the batting average still very good.
Here's Alomar. Alomar getting mixed reviews here. Maddux's changeup is down low, 1-0. Greg back to the plate. Outside corner, 1-1. Apparently he and Mike Hirschbeck? John Hirschbeck, that's right. Have resolved their differences, and I'm glad. Let's keep that out of the paper and get on with playing ball. Ground ball headed toward short. Blauser's got it. 2 steps, throw, 2 outs. It was a despicable, inexcusable incident, but I think Alomar deeply regretted it, and I guess they got together and apologies were made, accepted, and now we can get on with, hopefully he can get on with his life, and so can John Hirschbeck. 2 gone. Maddux has now set down 6 in a row, and he'll face Rafael Palmeiro, who flied to right his first time up, hit it to right center, and Tucker tracked it down. Inside fastball almost hits it.
The only thing that came out of that incident that's still a little bit bothersome is the length of the suspension and when it was served. He got a 5-game suspension for that, which he didn't have to serve until the opening 5 games of this season.
Ground ball up the middle. Lemke gloves, back a second, guns first, in time. You might see some Pickett and Grennan this weekend. These 2 infields can play. And Lemke with a spectacular play. Maddux has set down 7 in a row. Braves coming up, still no score. For the Braves, and by the way, since we did not have a double play in the top of the 4th inning, our jackpot tomorrow, Delta Sky Miles, 41,000. That's almost 2 free tickets. Chipper struck out swinging his first time. He chased a high fastball from Jimmy Key. A lefty into the line, and his first pitch on the way. Up and away, 1-0. Tried to see if Chipper would go fishing twice on that pitch, but not that time. They shade him to pull in the outfield, almost dead straight up in the infield. Squirts the next one foul past Pat Corrales coaching at first. As always, Bobby Dews occupying the coach's box over at third. I have figured out the difference between, it is a postseason atmosphere, playoffs and World Series here tonight, but I figured out a big difference. Here's the 1-1 to Chipper. Up and away, 2-1. I recognize the people sitting in the seats.
I thought you were going to say no bunting around the stadium.
No, I recognize the people in the seats down below us. We get to know the faces and some of the names during the season, but during postseason, Chipper takes ball 3 outside. A whole lot of folks I've never seen before occupying seats. 3 balls and 1 strike. Key normally never gives in any time. The 3-1 pitch, outside corner, fouled away. Full count to Chipper Jones. Fred McGriff and Andrew Jones await their turn at Jimmy Key. Key shakes off a couple of signs. He's into the line, and the payoff pitch popped up, out of play, back into the crowd to our right. And the count 3-2. I just had a thought. Are they using National League baseballs in the National League cities and
American League balls in the American League cities?
Something I should have thought of about a month ago.
In fact, Mark Wohlers was asking the other day in Colorado if there's a difference in the baseball. I said, I don't think so.
Payoff pitch to Chipper, tap right back to Jimmy Key. He goes to first, and there's out number 1 in the 4th inning. There are 2 differences. The ink is red, and it has...
signature, yeah.
3 then, that's right. Different league president signature. The ink is red, and it says R-O-A instead of R-O-N. Rawlings official American League instead of Rawlings official National. Or if you're some guy named Ron in the National League, they play with the baseball with your name on it. Here's McGriff. Fred walked his first time up. Key has walked 1. He has struck out 2. Nothing across. Pitching duel like you would have expected. The wind by Jimmy Key. First pitch to McGriff. Breaking ball sweeps outside. 1-0. Key, like Maddux, takes no time. When he gets a sign that he likes, he brings it back to the plate. The 1-0 pitch, same breaking ball, but this time a strike. It's 1-1. A ball and a strike to Fred McGriff. Fred way back in the left-handed batter's box. Takes ball 2 outside. Jimmy Key out of the Birmingham area now makes his home down near Tampa in Tarpon Springs.
He's had 4 shoulder operations in his career.
Isn't it amazing that he is still out there pitching, and not just pitching, but I mean dealing. He misses again, and it's 3-1.
It's amazing in all sports now how rapidly, number one, players can come back from injuries, and how injuries that years ago would have put a player out of the sport for good, usually within a year they're back.
And some of them better than before. McGriff checks his swing. He's walked again. So Key twice has issued base on balls. Most of the time it's been to Fred McGriff. He escaped injury doing it, giving up a single, 2 stolen bases, and a walk in the first inning, did Key. He has McGriff at first, 1 gone for Andrew Jones. Jimmy Key started his career in the Toronto organization back in 1982. He was a 3rd-round pick. Throw to first, but McGriff not back, and he's already served notice. I do not wish to be picked for the All-Star team.
Yep, he's getting married during the All-Star break.
That's a good reason. First pitch to Andrew, a little bit outside. He falls behind Andrew Jones, 1-0. Out of Butler High School over in Alabama, a Clemson University grad. And a genuine good guy. The 1-0 pitch to Andrew Jones in the dirt. Nice stop by Hoyle. So all of a sudden Key having a little trouble locating that down and away strike, and he falls behind 2-0. Key again comes set, gives a look to McGriff, and brings a 2-0 pitch home. Andrew Jones is taken all the way, and it's right down Broadway, 2-1. A lot of folks coming in from out of town for this series, and rightly so. A couple of dear friends of mine, Jay and Buzz Wyndham, coming up from Pensacola, and we hope they enjoy their weekend. You folks who listen in down there at WCOA, they made it okay. Throw to first, in McGriff back. Key again ready, looks to first, and a 2-1 pitch on the way, down low, and it's 3-1. So after walking McGriff, Key goes 3-1 to Andrew Jones. And speaking of Andrew Jones, talking to a number of folks who were down around batting practice in Colorado, they said some of the things we've been saying, that it's a different sound when it comes off of Andrew Jones's bat. There's ball 4. Pause for station ID. You're part of the Atlanta Braves radio network.
Magic 96. At Gondolier Italian Restaurant, you can get more than Italian dishes right off the daily special entree board. Prime rib, jumbo fried shrimp, fried catfish or flounder, veal cutlet, and grilled salmon are just a few of the great dishes you'll find at Gondolier's Italian Restaurant, 77 Bullsford Drive in New York.
Hoyle's out for a chat with Jimmy Keys. And while he does that, Eddie Perez digs himself a toe hole in the right-handed batter's box. Perez, first time up, popped to short. Key will be trying to get Eddie Perez to hit the ball on the ground with catcher's speed. Orioles looking for a double play. The infield has shortened up a couple of steps. Alomar maybe a good 8 feet in front of the grass at second. Key comes set, looks to second, and the first pitch to Eddie shows bunt, takes a ball downstairs. So with Jimmy Key having trouble throwing strikes, Eddie Perez tried to make the strike zone jump around a little, and I think he succeeded. It's 1-0. Key again comes set. Look to second, and the pitch to Perez over about knee high. Pitcher's pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. I would bet Jimmy Key has a pretty good size pass list. Having so many relatives over in Birmingham, that's a short little trek over to spend the weekend watching the Braves and the Orioles go at it. The 1-1 to Perez hit high in the air, right field, shallow for Hammonds. He's got a bead on it, and he's got it. So there's out number 2 in the 4th inning. Looked like Eddie took a shot toward right field, but got it up in the air instead of on the ground. 2 gone, and if the Braves are going to score, they're going to have to do it with 2 outs, and it's up to Ryan Klesko. Klesko popped up his first time. Ryan, the one left-hander in the batting order who has had his troubles with lefty. 264 from facing right-handers, but 204 against lefties. First pitch from Jimmy Key over about knee-high, right down the middle, slider, 0-1. Key is one of those pitchers that won't stand out there all day shaking off signs. If he disagrees with his catcher, Chris Hoyles, he wipes with his glove and changes it to what he wants. The 0-1 to Klesko, a little bit outside, 1-1.
He has an unusual stretch motion, too. He almost double pumps He pumps that glove once and then pumps it again and pauses at the belt.
Kind of like the old-time player.
Yeah.
Something you'd see in an old Ronald Reagan movie. Or Jimmy Stewart. Here's the 1-1. Outside with the breaking ball, and he's falling behind Klesko, 2-1. What a perfect night for baseball here in Atlanta. The 2-1 pitch to Klesko, outside again, and it's 3-1. McGriff away from second, a huge lead by Andrew Jones at first, and the 3-1 to Klesko. Foul back, he had himself a huge cut. Back over the screen and just below us, and it's a full count, 3-2. Speaking of how pleasant it is here, we started this game, it was 85 degrees under perfect conditions. Game time temperature brought to you by York Triathlon Gas Heating and Cooling System. Better late than never. So a payoff pitch due Ryan Klesko. The stretch, here it comes. Swing and a miss. Got him upstairs with a fastball. Fed him a diet of breaking balls and then buzzed him 3-2 upstairs. And there goes Klesko. A couple of walks in the inning, nothing more for the Braves. Through 4, still no score. We're heading to the 5th inning. No score, no runs, a hit, no errors for the O's. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for the Braves. Maddux into the wind, and his first pitch to Cal Ripken is a strike over the outer edge. It's 0-1.
A few flashbulbs went out on that pitch, as they did the first time Ripken was hitting. Here they go again.
A legend. Breaking ball outside, 1-1.
Facing a legend.
The way it should be. Some amazing things about Cal Ripken. Obviously, his durability. He sends one high and deep into the stands down the right field line, 1 and 2. But in going back through his numbers, he has put together a good career. He's hit a lot of home runs, a good batting average. He has never had a year in which he struck out over 100 times. And for a big power hitter. Chopper to third. Chipper slides to his left. Throws off balance. One third baseman takes care of the other third baseman. And Maddux has now set down 8 in a row. And he'll face B.J. Surhoff. If you've watched Craig Biggio, Todd Zeile, and you remember the stories of Joe Torre, a similarity with B.J. Surhoff. He was drafted by the Milwaukee Brewers back in the middle 80s and was going to be their catcher forever. He takes strike 1 from Maddux. But he is one of those who has made the conversion from catcher to he has played third and he's played some outfield. Most people agree he has become a better player. Fly ball right field. Back goes Tucker a couple of steps. And there is out number 2, 9 in a row set down by Greg Maddux. And he'll face Jeffrey Hammonds. I remember the first time I saw Jeffrey Hammonds, he's out of Stanford. And I saw him in conditions that are not the most ideal, getting in and out. But while you're there, it's not bad. Saw him in the Pan Am Games in Havana, Cuba. And you could tell right away he was destined to be something special. He's had some injuries that have slowed his progress. Righty against righty, there's ball 1 upstairs. Maddux into the wind and the 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball outside, it's 2-0. His performance in Havana was sparkling. His getting in and getting out a lot easier than a lot of us who worked for Turner. A strike at the knees, 2-1.
I've been through that.
Yeah, that's right. You have, haven't you?
Different place.
Here's the 2-1 to Hammonds. Line drive off the glove of Mark Lemke. It skips into shallow right field. Quickly up with it is Andrew Jones. Should be scored a hit. That ball was smoked. Overspin, kicked it right off the edge of Lemke's glove. Still no scorer's decision. But Hammonds is at first with 2 gone. And here comes Chris Hoyle. Applied to center field. He's a big right-handed hitter. Takes a strike. You see hitters a lot of times, unusual ways they get into the batter's box and get ready. If you've seen Andres Galarraga hit, you know he starts right foot in the batter's box and he hits with his left foot down the left field line. Hoyle starts that way and then moves into his regular batting style. There's a ball Eddie Perez bluffs to throw to first. When he first starts, you see him facing down the left field line, and you think we got ourselves another Galarraga. But he only takes a couple of practice swings, then he turns and points that left foot right out at Maddux. Throw to first. Hammond's back easily. Hammond's with 6 steals. He has good speed. Hoyles with a long look down to Sam Perlazzo, coaching at third. Former National League catcher and a good one. John Stearns coaches at first. Time call, so Maddux bluffed to throw to first. Nothing. Top of the 5th. Greg again comes set, looks over his shoulder to first, and sends the 1-1 pitch home. Knee-high outside corner. Hoyles can't believe it. But he's in a hole, 1-2. Cleveland at St. Louis, nothing doing yet. Minnesota 2-0 over Houston, top of the 3rd in Houston. San Francisco at Texas, nothing doing through 1. That on our local Ford dealers scoreboard. Here's the 1-2. Up and away, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
At one final this afternoon, Milwaukee beat the Chicago Cubs at Wrigley Field 4-2.
Yeah, I forgot. I was watching part of that. Forgot about it. Skip and Joe will keep you posted on all the scores the rest of the way. Long set by Maddux, and Hoyles asked for time. Gets it. Now he's back in there. Hammond's a walking lead away from first. Maddux again comes set. Looks over to first and brings it home. Hoyles fouls it in and out of the mitt of Eddie Perez, and it's still 2 balls and 2 strikes. If you have never been to a game at Turner Field, or if you have been to a game and you've seen the crowd, you would not believe this, folks. Standing room only, and sometimes 2 and 3 deep. And I didn't know they could put any more folks in the chop house, but they've done it tonight. Maddux a long look to Eddie Perez. Now they're ready. The stretch and the 2-2 pitch, runner going. Swing and a miss. So Maddux gets the strikeout. Hammonds breaks up the string of 9 with a single. Orioles nothing more to show for their turn at bat, top of the 5th. Halfway home, still no score.
Surprised that we have a scoreless contest going to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Jimmy Key and Greg Maddux having at it. Good evening, everybody. Joe Simpson along with Skip Caray to take you the rest of the way on the Atlanta Braves Radio Network. And for Atlanta in the bottom of the 5th, bottom 3rd of the order, or bottom 2 of the order, Lemke and Maddux, and then Jeff Blauser. Lemke struck out his first time. Jimmy Key goes to work and delivers a fastball on the outside corner. Lemke hitting .227, batting right-handed against the left-hander, who kicks and fires outside, ball 1. Key has fanned 3 and left runners at first and second in the 4th inning, first and third in the 1st inning. Outside with another sinker, 2-1. He's thrown a lot of pitches, but so far has not given the Braves a run. Two and 1 the count, just underway here in the bottom of the 5th. No score. The pitch to Lemke, hit hard on one hop to Ripken, who's got it in on the grass. Fires to Palmeiro at first, 1 down. And the batter will be the pitcher, Greg Maddux, who grounded his short his first time. Mike Bordick made a nice play on him.
So much for this theory that American League Baseball has to be slow. We are zipping right along here. 2 guys who know what they're doing pitching. It doesn't have to take that long.
Well, it's going to be one of those series where you sacrifice a lot of points on your average and you just try to figure out a way to win a couple of games. And that applies to both sides. Maddux swings at the first pitch and fouls it down the right field line, 0-1. Packed house here tonight at Turner Field. And since you couldn't be with us, glad you're with us on the radio network. A nice warm night in Atlanta, finally. Temperature in the mid-80s at game time. Here's the 0-1 to Maddux. Slices one into the crowd. Look out over by the dugout. Into the dugout. That line drive went. Almost got Eddie Perez. 0-2. And I know that there's a couple down there near and dear to your heart, Skip, that weren't too far from that line drive.
Yeah, that's right. Come on, Greg. Let's go.
Josh and Paula Caray just eluding danger there. 0-2 to Maddux. Breaking ball down in the dirt. 1-2 the count.
No, I didn't pay him anything to try to do that. Don't.
I just got a glimpse of something on the monitor that's interesting and a treat. The 1-2 pitch. Called strike 3 on the inside corner. Maddux down on strikes. Second out of the inning. Normally, Jim Guadagno of the Braves, who's in charge of the videotaping and the scouting of the charting of each game, sits right behind home plate. Tonight, since it's an American League team and we're not going to see the Orioles again, he's sitting in the dugout in uniform. So I know that's a treat for him.
Yeah, I bet it is.
Jeff Blauser, the hitter, with 2 outs. He has singled in 2 trips. Stands in. He's the leadoff batter. Slices one to right, but out of play into the crowd.
And if you're wondering, well, what if these two teams are in the World Series? What about charting this game then? They videotape every game. They can chart it off that whenever they want to.
Right. Key brushes off a sign. Now kicks and fires the 0-1 pitch. Called strike. Blauser was looking for something else and got one right down the middle. 0-2 the count. Two out, nobody on. The 0-2 pitch to Blauser. Fastball on the outside corner. Caught him looking. He did some serious paint work on the outside corners this inning. 2 strikeouts, 5 on the night. We've played 5, no score. Back at Turner Field, we go to the 6th inning. Mike Bordick will lead off for the Orioles. And he swings at the first pitch and slides one down into the right field corner. Out of play, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. Greg Maddux has allowed 2 hits, no runs. Jimmy Key has allowed 2 hits, no runs. Called strike 2 to Mike Bordick, who hit a comebacker to Maddux his first time up. He'll be followed by the pitcher, Jimmy Key, and then Brady Anderson. Fastball outside, 1-2. Brady Anderson's in the on-deck circle with Jimmy Key, but that's not normally allowed in the National League to have 2 hitters in the on-deck circle. I don't remember that that's allowed in the American League either, but 2 of them out there. The 1-2 pitch, slice toward right field. That's going to drop for a hit. Bordick's got a base hit to right. Tucker up with it. He'll hold him to a single as he's over near the line to pick it up. So the Orioles have their leadoff man aboard, and now a bunting situation for Jimmy Key. Key struck out his first time up. And he had a 1 foul tip, and that was a moral victory. Let's see if he can bunt. Chipper's charging. Key is bunting, and he puts a good one down toward McGriff. And Fred's only play will be to first, and Fred almost threw it away. Lemke had to stretch to save him. So a good bunt by Key. In fact, he bunted it hard. I thought for a minute Fred might have a play at second, but he didn't. Key does his job, and now an RBI opportunity for the Orioles. First time tonight they've had a runner to second base. Brady Anderson is flied out, struck out. He's had a bit of a dry spell. 2 for his last 15. One out, or 1 run right now seems huge. No score in the 6th. Maddux checks the runner, and the pitch to Anderson. Fastball in on his hands, ball 1. Kind of like Barry Bonds, Brady Anderson for a power hitter, chokes up on the bat. A left-handed hitter all the way, hitting .315 coming into play tonight. The 1-0 pitch. Change up a little low. 2-0. Anderson 7th in the league in on-base percentage in the American League, a .432 on-base percentage. He scored 39 runs on the team. Palmeiro leads the team with 40. 2-0 pitch. Fouled back. 2-1. He got jammed. Again, the Orioles have 2 in the on-deck circle. Rafael Palmeiro has come out and joined Roberto Alomar. Two and one the count. Maddux comes set. And the pitch. Swung on, broken bat flare into shallow right field. That's going to drop for a hit. Bordick's being waved home. He's going to score without a throw. An RBI hit for Brady Anderson. And listen to the Orioles fans here at this park tonight. Orioles take a 1-0 lead. And for Brady Anderson, his 35th RBI. Well, the Orioles play a little National League baseball. They get a leadoff hit, they bunt the runner over, and they drive him in with a hit. And the batter will be Roberto Alomar, who has grounded out to Blauser twice tonight. Alomar hitting .218 right-handed, .319 left-handed. There goes Anderson. Nope, just a bluff. Now a throw down to first, and McGriff has to block the ball on a short hop thrown down there by Perez. The pitch was outside for ball one. Anderson made a big bluff towards second. Took 2 or 3 steps that way, and that's why Eddie thought he was going. Juan Gonzalez is homered for the Rangers, his 13th of the year, off of Sean Estes. Texas trying to split their series with the Giants, or at least even it. San Francisco won last night. Texas leading tonight 2-0. The 1-0 to Alomar. He's taking all the way, and there's a pitch inside ball 2. Hey, Skip, remember the other day we were talking about some of the former National League pitchers who would get to hit, and Omar Olivares was mentioned as one of them.
He did, huh?
He got a base hit. First American League pitcher to record a hit in interleague play with a single in the 3rd inning at Montreal tonight.
You know, his dad was a Major League outfielder, Eddie Olivares. Played with the Cardinals a little while.
Two-0 the count to Alomar with the Orioles on top 1-0. Maddux checks the runner, delivers to Alomar, swinging a ground ball to McGriff past him. He made a backhanded diving attempt, couldn't come up with it. On his way to third is Anderson. As Tucker gets it back in, he'll hold Alomar to a single. Runners at first and third, still one out for Rafael Palmeiro. Alomar hit the ball sharply. Fred bounced off the bag after holding the runner on and then couldn't get back toward the line to backhand the ball. So with a run already home, the Orioles threatening for more here with their three-hole hitter, Rafael Palmeiro, in there. He's been a hot hitter. 0 for 2 tonight, but he's hitting 12 of his last 13. Rafael Palmeiro has hit more doubles than any other player in the major leagues in the 90s. 265. Now a giant beach ball comes on the field. Down by the Braves dugout, and time is called to retrieve that. Now we're ready. Palmeiro digs in. Maddux works from the stretch. Runners at the corners, one out. The pitch. Called strike at the knees on the outside corner. Maddux picked up a win in his last start at San Francisco. Beat him 5-2, but he had actually exited after working 8 innings. And the guy who pinch hit for him, Andrew Jones, hit a 3-run homer to win it. He was still the pitcher of record. Throw to first. Alomar's back. Roberto, 4 out of 5 in stolen bases. Five hits for the Orioles, 3 this inning. It's produced a run. The pitch to Palmeiro, grounded foul right side past John Stearns, the first base coach. Jeff Bagwell's hit a home run at the Astrodome, a solo shot off of Brad Radke, but Minnesota still leads Houston 2-1. That's in the 3rd inning. On the Atlanta Journal-Constitution scoreboard. Maddux delivers to Palmeiro. Soft line drive into left center field. That's going to drop for a hit. A run scores. Alomar to second. It's 2-0 Baltimore. Palmeiro just took a little off his swing and dunked one in out behind short. RBI 46 for Palmeiro. 4 hits in the inning for Baltimore. Maybe they're making some adjustments, Skip. Everybody's trying to go the opposite way, and that's what they're doing.
Nobody's swinging hard. Nobody's trying to hit a home run. They're just what Bobby calls head knockers.
Bordick, a right-handed hitter, a base hit to right. Brady Anderson's base hit after the bunt was a base hit to right. Alomar did pull the ball. Now here's Ripken. He takes a strike. 0-1. Cal tonight 0 for 2, a couple of ground outs.
Wonder if the flash bulbs popped when he hits in the American League parks. I guess they do, too, huh?
I would guess they do. Maybe not with this much sequence here in Atlanta, but a rare sight. The 0-1 pitch to Ripken. Just missed the outside corner. 1-1. He takes a long look down at Sam Perlazzo, the third base coach for the Orioles. Ripken waits. 2 on, 1 out, 2 in. 2-0 Baltimore. There goes Alomar. He had a huge jump. Pitch swung on. A hit-and-run play, and he hit it into the vacated hole at second where Lemke had been. A run scores. Around to third, Palmeiro. A hit-and-run play by the Orioles produces another run, perfectly executed by Cal Ripken. Let's pause for station identification on the Braves Radio Network.
Creative and unique gift ideas for any occasion at wholesale prices. That's Matthews Hamper House inside the State Farmers Market in Forest Park, open 7 days a week. Call 404-366-7166. This is WMKJ Peachtree City, WCOH Noonan.
Cal Ripken with his 44th RBI of the year.
You know what they're doing to us? They're playing National League baseball better than we are right now.
And they've got a former National League manager, Davey Johnson, over there, who knows how this works. 3-0 Baltimore. Runners still at the corners. They have 4 straight hits and 5 in the inning. All singles. And B.J. Surhoff up there has singled and lined out tonight. Left-handed hitter. Takes a strike. Maddux needs a ground ball and needs it quick. But the guy at the plate leads the American League in hitting with runners in scoring position. A .426 average. Maddux ready. Fires. Fastball. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Surhoff tried to pull a fastball up and away. Surhoff, a former first-round pick by the Milwaukee Brewers out of North Carolina. Signed as a catcher and played for a long time with the Brewers as a catcher. Then some third base, playing left field tonight. The 0-2 pitch to him. Swing and a line drive into center field. Back goes Andrew Jones, still going. He's got it for the out. But tagging and scoring from third is Rafael Palmeiro. 4-0 Baltimore on the sacrifice fly. .41 RBIs for B.J. Surhoff. And a 4-run inning so far for Baltimore. Jeffrey Hammonds will be the hitter. He singled his last time up. He's 1 for 2. Four runs on 5 hits. Maddux delivers. Called strike 1. The inning set up beautifully by Jimmy Key tonight, too, because after the leadoff single by Bordick, Key stepped up and put down a sacrifice bunt. Hammonds waits. The 0-1 pitch on the way. Just a little off the plate. 1-1. Braves left runners at the corners in the first inning, left 2 on in the third, or make it the fourth. Now trail 4-0. Pitch to Hammonds, off the end of the bat toward first. McGriff has it. He'll take it to the bag himself. No, he'll tag the runner first. And the out recorded and the inning over, but after he tagged Hammonds, he collided with Greg Maddux. Greg looks like he's all right, other than the fact that he gave up 4 runs on 5 hits. We go to the bottom of the 6th. 4-0 O's. Bottom half of the 6th inning finds the Braves trailing now 4-0. It's the Goodies Headache Powders home run jackpot inning tonight, worth $1,100. And Michael Tucker will lead it off, and he'll hit for James Davis, who lives on Springfield Street in Forest City, North Carolina. Tucker tonight singled and lined out against Key, who has a 4-run lead and delivers outside ball 1 to start the bottom of the 6th. Key brushes off a sign, the 1-0 pitch. Fastball popped up high and fairly deep to center field, but Anderson says he's got it. And one hands it for the out. Chipper Jones, the batter. He has struck out and hit a comebacker to the mound. He hits for Tony Whitfield, who lives on Abbott Lake Road in Conyers, Georgia. Chipper had a good series in Colorado, went 5 for 12 with a couple of homers, but 0 for 2 tonight. Batting right-handed, Key delivers, and an off-speed pitch had Chipper chasing it. He tried to stop his swing and couldn't. 0-1. And that hurt Chipper's hand as he tried to stop his swing. The 0-1 pitch on the way from Jimmy Key. Outside, 1-1. Key through 5 innings had not pitched as well as Maddux. He had walked 3 batters, but he got out of any trouble. And then Maddux, who had been breezing, suddenly ran into all kinds of trouble here in the 6th. Fastball crossfires inside, 2-1 to Jones. A 4 spot in the 6th as Maddux and the Braves trailing the Orioles. The 2-1 to Chipper. Swing and a foul ball off the end of the bat. Inside, outside, inside, outside. Jimmy Key keeps the hitters off balance, changes speeds, and hits spots. 2-2. Fred McGriff on deck. 1 out, nobody on. The wind and the 2-2. Over but low, full count. Veteran Harry Wendelstedt calling the balls and strikes tonight. Key ready. The payoff pitch to Chipper. Change up. Sliced foul out of play. Down by a good banner that somebody brought tonight in the upper deck. Foul territory. He's got a bullseye and it says, "Spit it here, Robbie." Referring, of course, to Robbie Alomar. Payoff pitch to Chipper Jones again. The wind in the pitch. Fastball swung on and driven to deep center field. Brady Anderson on the run, still going at the track, makes the catch. On the track in dead center field. Nice play by the Oriole center fielder to rob Chipper Jones of extra bases. 2 down. And the batter will be Fred McGriff, who has walked twice tonight. And he hits for Grace Broadway, who lives on Virginia Avenue in Cedartown, Georgia. Fred hitting .282, waits, swings, and pops one up. Left side. Ripken started back, now comes in, makes the catch. Braves go in order. No winners in the jackpot. We go to the 7th. 4-0 Baltimore. Six innings in the books at Turner Field in Atlanta. Packed house here at Turner Field, watching the Orioles, who have a 4-0 lead over Atlanta. 4 runs, 7 hits for Baltimore. No runs, 2 hits for the Braves. Bottom third of the order for this Baltimore ball club has Hoyles, Bordick, and then Jimmy Key. Greg Maddux back out there, winds and delivers. Foul ball hit into the crowd, 0-1. Chris Hoyles is kind of the John Smoltz for the Braves. He was acquired from the Tigers by the Orioles in one of those late season deals when Detroit was making a run at it in '88. The 0-1 inside, 1-1. Baltimore got him along with Robinson Garces and Cesar Mejia, a couple of pitchers in exchange for outfielder Freddie Lynn. And Hoyles has become, of course, their everyday catcher. 2-1 now to Hoyles. He had 25 homers last year. 1993, he hit .310 with 29 homers, which is a career high. Pretty good production from your backstop. 2-1 pitch, breaking ball, called strike 2. And he's a big guy, 6 feet, 215. Born and still lives in Bowling Green, Ohio. The wind by Maddux, the 2-2 pitch, fouled back, out of play. Hoyles attended Eastern Michigan University and actually played so well there he had his number retired in '94. Line again by Maddux. A 2-2 pitch hit him. Hoyles takes one on the back of the left shoulder, and Maddux, I think it was Maddux yelling before the pitch even got to the plate. So another inauspicious start to an inning for Greg Maddux. Second batter he has plunked this year. And the Braves are going to get the bullpen busy. Here's Mike Bordick. He got their 4-run 6th inning started with a single. Alan Embry begins to loosen up for Atlanta. Ground ball to second, though. Should be 2. Lemke to Blauser for 1. Relay to first. Double play. 2 out. And now let's see if the bullpen sits down. It looks like Embry's going to sit down as Jimmy Key comes to the plate, or is he? Well, he's going to keep throwing. But Key will be up there with 2 out. Key was instrumental in the inning. In the 6th, after Bordick singled, he put down a good sacrifice bunt. Put him into scoring position where Brady Anderson drove him in. Braves have turned 2 double plays tonight. Swing and a miss by Key, 0-1.
He's trying to hit that one right out of here. Must be feeling frisky with a 4-run lead.
He must be. He must be thinking, I'm not going to get this many opportunities to swing, so I'm going to hack. Off of Perez's glove, back to the screen, 1-1. Key, 36 years old. A right-handed batter. Takes a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out, nobody on. The 1-2 delivery. Called strike 3. Key knew it. He's finished for the inning, and so are the Orioles. But we go to the 7th inning stretch. Baltimore still leading 4-0, and here's a word from First Union. 7th inning stretch completed here at Turner Field. Braves need to get the bats going. They have only 2 hits against Jimmy Key. He's tried to help them. He's walked 3 tonight, but nothing across for Atlanta, and Andrew Jones will lead off the inning. Andrew bounced into a fielder's choice in the 1st inning with runners at 1st and 3rd and 2 out. And then he drew a walk in the 4th. He and McGriff walked back-to-back with 1 out, but look, Eddie Perez flied out. Brian Klesko struck out. First pitch to the bottom of the 7th. Swung on, driven into left center field. On the run is Surhoff. He's not going to get it. Ball gets by him and rolls all the way to the wall. Andrew Jones round second. He's going to try for 3. Here comes the relay. Not in time. A stand-up triple. Was he moving around second or what?
He can fly. He's a multi-talented player.
He has such graceful strides, too. He just gobbles up ground. Eddie Perez, the hitter. The Braves with a chance to finally get on the board. Runner at 3rd, nobody out. The infield will play back for the out. Perez is popped up, flied out. 0 for 2. Breaking ball grounded up the middle. That'll get the run home. Bordick gobbles it up behind the bag at 2nd and throws him out. Outstanding play. But the Braves on the board. It's 4-1. RBI number 5 for Eddie Perez. That almost got up the middle, and it took a good play by Mike Bordick to get the out. So time to get another rally started. 1 out, nobody on. Klesko the hitter. Ryan is fouled out to the third baseman, Cal Ripken, and he has struck out. 2 pitch, sidearm fastball, missed outside. 1-2 the count. Braves on the board with a leadoff triple from Andrew Jones and a ground ball out by Eddie Perez. 4-1 Baltimore. The wind and the pitch, swing and a miss. Klesko down on strikes for the second time. And that is 6 on the night for Jimmy Key. He had his season high of 9 strikeouts in his last start against the White Sox. Beat him 2-1. And he struck out 9 in only 7 innings of work. He's averaged only 6 1/3 innings in each of his starts and only 1 complete game this year, but he's, at the moment, firing a 3-hitter. Mark Lemke steps in, 2 out, nobody on. He lines one into left field, base hit. Surhoff over to cut that one off, and Lemke will stop at first.
And Javi Lopez will come out to pinch hit, Joe.
So that'll be it for Maddux, who worked 7 innings, gives up 7 hits and 4 runs. They were all earned. Did not walk a batter, struck out 4, and he hit a batter. So Javi Lopez in there. He's been nursing a bit of a sore knee. It's another one of those situations, Skip, where the Braves, carrying only 2 catchers, run a pretty good risk here using Javi in this situation.
Keep Mike Mordecai loose. Here comes Ray Miller for a word with Key.
Javi hitting .298 on the year, 11 homers, 35 RBIs. He too had a good road trip, especially in Colorado. Went 5 for 9 with a couple of doubles. Went 10 for 25 on the road trip with 2 homers and has a 6-game hitting streak on the line. The 1 for 7 is a pinch hitter. A runner at first, 2 down. The Oriole bullpen gets busy. Armando Benitez, a right-hander, and veteran Jesse Orozco, a left-hander, begin to throw. Embry still throwing in the Braves bullpen. Javi in the box. Here's the pitch from Key. Fastball outside, ball 1. Lemke at first, 2 down. A run across for Atlanta. They've cut into the Orioles lead. It's 4-1. Key from the stretch delivers. Fastball at the knees called strike. Good sinker. And it found the mark. Orioles wearing their road grays, trimmed in orange with the Orioles in script across the front. Black caps with the Baltimore Oriole on the front. The 1-1 pitch, sinking low. Ball 2, 2-1.
Their bullpen is busy. I can't see who it is.
Benitez and Orozco, I believe, still throwing down there. The 2-1 pitch. Low again, 3-1. Blauser on deck represents the potential tying run.
I think it's Benitez and Orozco down there.
That it is. Key again works quickly. The 3-1 pitch swung on, hit hard, left side, in the hole, base hit. Lemke will stop at second. Cal Ripken made a diving effort for it, but couldn't reach it. Javi Lopez delivers a pinch hit single, and Rafael Belliard will pinch run for him. And the tying run comes to the plate in the form of Jeff Blauser. And for Javi, with that pinch hit, he extends his hitting streak to 8 games. To make it 7 games, excuse me. And if you just joined us or haven't been anywhere near the ballpark or a TV set, Jeff Blauser in the leadoff spot. Kenny Lofton scratched tonight with back spasms just before the first pitch. The chop has broken out here at the ballpark. The pitch to Blauser, outside, ball 1.
This is the man he has to get to stay in the game, I would think.
It's funny, we're here in the 7th inning. That's going to be it. Davey Johnson out of the dugout already. He's not going to have a chance to get Jeff Blauser. And as we mentioned, 6 2/3 innings, or 6 1/3 inning, the average Jimmy Key outing for the year, and he's gone 6 2/3 tonight, and he hits a wall. And Davy Johnson's going to make a change. Jimmy Key not happy about it. He kind of walks around, has his back to Davy Johnson, but hands him the baseball. And we'll tell you who's coming in for the Orioles after this word from Applebee's Neighborhood Grill and Bar. Armando Benitez, the new pitcher for the Orioles. We'll tell you more about him after we pause for station identification on the Braves Radio Network.
Magic 96. When you're ready for the great taste of Italy, try Gondolier Italian Restaurant. Fresh-made manicotti, cannelloni, Parmesan dishes, you name it. Let the Gondolier steer you in the direction of great Italian food. Gondolier Italian Restaurant, 77 Bullsburg Drive in Noonan.
Armando Benitez, a big, hard-throwing right-hander, takes over for Jimmy Key. He's 0-2 in 25 appearances with a 3.38 ERA, but he's got 6 saves, and the league hitting only 196 against him. And with runners on base, he's third in the American League among relievers, only hitting 133. He's got 2 runners on, the tying run at the plate, and Jeff Blauser, who has a 1-ball, no-strike count on him. 2 out, and this crowd comes to life. And the big right-hander from the stretch delivers. Fastball on the outside corner, called strike 1. He's 6'4", 225, and only 24 years old, out of San Pedro de Macorís, Dominican. Thought you were supposed to play shortstop if you were out of San Pedro de Macorís.
He pitches a little differently than Jimmy Key does, doesn't he?
Yeah. 35 strikeouts in 26 innings. That kind of different. The 1-1 pitch. Fastball fouled back. Blauser in the hole now, 1-2. He's allowed runs on only 1 of his last 17 appearances. Has been up and down with the Baltimore organization the last 3 years. I think he's here to stay. He can bring it. Blauser in the hole, 1-2. 2 on, 2 out. The pitch inside, and it hit him. It brushed him as it went by. Blauser trots to first. Bases loaded. Davy Johnson in the dugout can't believe it, but that ball just barely glanced off of Jeff's elbow or shoulder. In fact, there's a high hanging breaking ball. It's almost like Jeff stuck his elbow out there to get plunked. They got hit for the 10th time this year. And now listen to the chop. Bases loaded for Michael Tucker, who has singled, lined out, flied out deep to center. Benitez delivers. Fastball hit right back at him. Line drive out. Inning over. Benitez spikes the ball on the mound. Tucker can't believe it. He hit it right back at him, and he caught it to end the inning. No runs, or excuse me, 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, 3 big runners left on base. We go to the 8th. Still 4-1 Baltimore. 4-1, the Orioles on top. On the pitch for Atlanta is Alan Embry, and he'll be facing the top of the order for the Orioles. And to tell you about Alan's numbers and to take you the rest of the way and help hopefully rally the Braves here as they trail, here's Skip Caray.
Okay, Joe, thank you very much. Embry has done all right. He's 1-1, a 2.89. He, of course, out of the American League and the Cleveland Indians organization. Brady Anderson, as Joe said, will lead it off against him. Anderson 0 for 3 in his career against the Atlanta left-hander, who works off the stretch, and the 8th inning is about to begin. Anderson 1 for 3. And he swings and misses, and the 8th inning is underway. The Orioles have 7 hits tonight, but unfortunately for Braves fans, they got 5 of them in the 6th, and all 4 of their runs. The stretch and the delivery. Swung on, pop foul back and out of play. It's 0-2. Anderson came in at .315 on the year. And that's where he is now after a 1 for 3 night. The pitch. Curve stays high, a ball and 2 strikes. 4-1 the score. Baltimore has the lead. Again, the stretch. The pitch. Swung, and there's a high drive to right field, but not deep enough. Michael Tucker coming over near the line. A mile high, but shy of the warning track. He makes the catch, one away. Anderson just missed that one. So, one down. And Jeff Ribolet is going to come out and pinch hit for Alomar. Alomar has a bad shoulder and cannot bat right-handed. I'm surprised by this, because this guy must be a heck of a fielder if he's taken Alomar's place. Ribolet stands in. He's hitting .206 with a homer and 9 RBI. One out, nobody on. The stretch and the pitch to the right-hand hitter upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. 4-1 the score. Baltimore has the lead. Again, the stretch. And the pitch to the right-hand hitter is right in there. Brad Clance in the Atlanta bullpen. The stretch. And the pitch. Swung and popped up on the infield. Who wants it? Mark Lemke calls for it. And he's got it for the second out of the inning. So Ribolet is retired. And Rafael Palmeiro, the batter. He, too, 1 for 3. A run scored and a single. It all came back in the 6th. He's 0 for 4 in his career against Alan Embry. Cal Ripken is on deck. Embry comes set. And the lefty delivers. Swung, grounded foul, pass first, 0-1. It sails into the Atlanta dugout. Capacity crowd, 48,334 paid here. 48,334. A good many of them Baltimore fans, and they're really enjoying themselves. Their team leads 4-1, the stretch. And Embry delivers. Here it is. Good breaking ball over the outside corner. He's ahead in the count, 0-2. 4-7-0 for the Orioles, 1-5-0 for the Braves. It's been a good ball game. Marlins bat in the 9th. They trail the Yankees 1-0. David Cohn on the hill for New York. But they got a mob there, too. White Sox, they go to the 8th, lead Cincinnati 3-0. Pitch outside. It's 2-2. Texas 2-1 over the Giants. That's in the 4th. Minnesota 4-1 over Houston in the 6th. Still raining in St. Louis, where Cleveland is trying to play. The stretch and the 1-2 pitch. Here it is. Swung and lined, right field, base hit down the line. Palmeiro around first. Tucker up with the ball. He's going to stay right there as Michael does a great job. Gets to the line, gets to the ball, spun around and made a perfect throw towards second and keeps the runner out of scoring position. Fine play. But Palmeiro has his second hit of the night, and here's Ripken. This guy's a fine ball player, and even more and better, he's a class act. Runner at first, 2 out. The stretch pitch to him. Outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Runner at first, 2 down. The Marlins have tied. The stretch. And the 2-0 pitch. Swung and lined down the left field line, but curving foul. Home run distance. But he hit it foul. 2 balls and a strike.
In his illustrious career, one thing that kind of goes unnoticed is the fact that this guy's hit 363 career homers.
Yeah, he is no joke. It's not just that he's played all those games. To be able to play all those games effectively and make a contribution on good teams as well as bad ones, it's a lot more than just the games. The 2-1 pitch. Here it is. Swung, a high chopper to short. Blauser has it. Flips it to Lemke, and the inning is over. 1 hit, no runs, no errors, 1 left. Bottom of the 8th, getting late, and the Braves trail 4-1. Armando Benitez has finished his warm-up tosses, and Chipper Jones will turn around and hit left-handed and greet him. Jimmy Key's line on the game, 6 2/3, 5 hits, a run, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. It's the way he always pitches against us. Normally in October. He is 3-1 in World Series appearances, and he's 6 outs away from being 1-0 in regular season appearances against Atlanta. But the Braves trying to do something about that right here. Chipper waits. Benitez winds and delivers, and a fast strike over the outside corner, 0-1. He runs it up there in pretty good order. Fred McGriff is on deck, and the 0-1 pitch, here it is, swung and lined into left center field. Everybody chasing it. That ball is out of here. It skimmed over the fence for a homer. It's 4-2. Number 8 for Chipper is 46th RBI of the year, and the Braves have cut the lead in half. It's a 4-2 game now. Here's Fred McGriff.
We're doing this kind of backwards. We're getting triples and home runs at the beginning of an inning and then load them up and can't get the other guys home.
Here's Fred. Benitez high and outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Andrew Jones is on deck against the hard-throwing right-hander. McGriff is 0 for 1 with a couple of walks. Outside, 2-0. Another base runner, of course, brings a potential tying run to the plate. Benitez has lost a couple of games this year as hard as he throws. 2 balls, no strikes. The wind, the pitch. Swung, hot shot, but right at Ray Boulay, who stayed in the game to play second. Throws to first in time. That ball was hit hard, but only an out. Here's Andrew Jones, who tripled and scored the first run an inning ago. Chris Hoyles to the mound for a word with his pitcher. Benitez built along the lines of Jose Mesa. End of the first quarter, Utah leads Chicago 23-17 in the NBA playoffs. Andrews stands in there. Eddie Perez waits to hit next, then Ryan Klesko the pitch. Fouled it back. What a cut he had, 0-1. He had that fastball time, but he fouled it to the screen. Nothing in 1. See old Doug Rader line, trying to sneak a fastball by him is like trying to sneak dawn past a rooster. 0-1 the count. Benitez into the wind and the pitch. It's in there again. He took a little off, and it's 0-2. Andrew didn't like that one. He doesn't say anything. He just walks away. 0-2 the count. Armando Benitez gets ready. And the 0-2 pitch. He just did stay alive on an off-speed pitch, fouled it away. Still 0-2. Jesse Orozco up again in the bullpen. He may have Ryan Klesko in mind as he throws. He's been around a long, long time. The wind and the pitch. Struck him out. Chased a bad ball, and Hoyles can't tag him out, but he's out of the baseline as he runs away. And that's the second out of the inning and the first strikeout for Benitez. And here is Eddie Perez. With Javi Lopez having already been used in this game, Eddie is here for the duration. Carl Everett has just homered with 1 out on the 7th of John Wasden, but the Red Sox still lead the Mets 5-3.
How did the Marlins tie that game up in the 9th against the Yankees? Do we hear?
The pitch. It's low. It pops away. By the way, that was on the Icon Office Solutions scoreboard.
Moises Alou had an RBI single in the 9th to send that one into extra innings.
Yeah, they play in the 10th. Here we got 2 out, nobody on in a 4-2 game. We are in the 8th. The wind and the pitch to Eddie. Swung and missed. It evens the count at a ball and a strike. Same two teams tomorrow. It's a 1:15 game. Benitez gets the sign. And the 1-1 pitch, here it is. Good breaking ball. Eddie was backing out of the way, and it snapped in there, and it's 1-2. There are 2 out in the inning. Ryan Klesko would be next. If Perez reaches, I bet we see Orozco. The wind and the pitch. Swung, and there's a drive. Deep left field. That baby is way out of here. It's 4-3 on a 1-2 pitch. Number 2 for Perez. His second RBI of the night. And the Braves trail by only 1. Benitez had surrendered only 3 home runs all year. Here comes Davy Johnson.
He throws a lot of high fastballs, Skip, and 2 have been tattooed this inning. Like that old adage, no matter how hard you throw it, you better make sure you put it in a good spot.
That'll do it for Benitez, and with Klesko, the scheduled hitter, I'm guessing Jesse Orozco will come out of their bullpen. We'll find out for sure who it is when we come back right after these messages. As Jesse Orozco, who, by the way, is now 40 years old, completes his warm-up pitches, a deal has just been made. The San Diego Padres have acquired pitchers Danny Jackson and Rich Batchelor, and outfielder Mark Sweeney from St. Louis for pitcher Fernando Valenzuela, outfielder Phil Plantier, and infielder Scott Livingstone. Fernando, last time I looked, was 2-8. Orozco completes his warm-up tosses. He just turned 40 years old. He's been in the major leagues since 1981. First with the Mets, then with the Dodgers, then with Cleveland, then with Milwaukee, and now in his 3rd year with Baltimore. He's 2-0, a 1.06 earned run average. In 23 games, he's pitched 17 innings. His job is just what he's doing here, to face the left-hand hitter, and his job is to get him out. Ryan Klesko will try to change all that. A switch hitter, Mark Lemke, is next. Orozco comes set and delivers. Breaking ball fouled away to the left, 0-1. He had a pretty good cut. Randy Myers will soon start tuning up, I would think, for Baltimore.
Their bullpen, the top-ranked bullpen in the American League, Skip, in all categories. But Benitez has allowed the Braves to get back in it.
An inning, 2 hits, 2 runs, a hit batsman, and a strikeout for Benitez, and 2 homers. The pitch. Outside, evens the counter, to ball and a strike. Well, I don't know about American League, National League, Interleague play, but all I know is this is a heck of a ball game, and the fans have really enjoyed it. A ball and a strike, the count. Orozco comes set and delivers. Swung and foul, tipped it back. Off the glove of the catcher, Chris Hoyles, and then to the screen. It's 1-2. Ryan's seeing the ball well against him. He's getting good swing.
Side note to that trade, Fernando Valenzuela was supposed to start tonight for San Diego. He's been scratched, and Will Canane will start instead.
A ball and 2 strikes. The stretch. The 1-2 pitch. Started to go, held up, breaking ball swept outside, 2-2.
I don't know if that was a deal attempting to improve the St. Louis Cardinals, but as much as it was a deal to try to make their pitching staff that much older.
Yeah. It'll really thrill that huge Mexican population in St. Louis. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The stretch. And the pitch. Just missed low. Hoyles and Orozco both on the way to the dugout, and I don't blame them. I think we got a break there. 3-2 the count. Another look at it on the TV monitor. Boy, that's strike 3.
There's a beauty. Doesn't get much more down the middle than that.
Harry must have thought it was low, but it didn't appear to be on the replay.
Make them pay for it, Ryan.
The 3-2 pitch. Here it is. Curve struck him out. Same pitch, same spot. Klesko is struck out for the third time tonight, and Orozco does his job. And honesty compels you to report he actually did it twice. 2 runs on the 2 homers. No errors and nobody left. We go to the 9th inning. Got to hold them so we can rally. It's 4-3 Baltimore. Pause here for station identification on the Atlanta Braves Radio Network.
Matthews Hamper House has wholesale prices on baskets, bags, bows, ribbons, cellophane, shrink wrap, crates, and more. Matthews Hamper House inside the State Farmers Market in Forest Park, your wholesale outlet for business supplies. Open 7 days a week. This is WMKJ Peachtree City and WCOH Noonan.
Alan Embry pitches into the 9th, and he faces B.J. Surhoff to lead it off. 4-3 Baltimore, our score. A dandy ball game at Turner Field tonight. Surhoff has faced Embry once and walked on that occasion. Allen works off the stretch. He got him with ease in the 8th, and he delivers to Surhoff. A strike over the inside corner, 0-1. The Orioles have been in first place since day 1 of this season, the last team to do that and go a full year. The Tigers in 1984, the stretch. And the pitch. It's high. Randy Myers, as expected, the former National Leaguer, labors in the bullpen now for the Orioles.
Back in 84, didn't the Tigers win 34 of their first 40 or something?
Something like that, I believe. The pitch. Swung and missed. 1-2 made him look bad.
And I think the story on them the rest of the year was that they only played 500 baseball or thereabouts and still won it going away.
1-2 the count. Surhoff steps out of the batter's box. Now he stands back in. Jeffrey Hammonds is on deck. And then Chris Hoyles. The pitch swung. Fly ball left field. Klesko is there waiting. He's got it. 1 out. Before Hammonds bats, Joe's son and my friend Gabe Simpson is up here in the booth, and he just drew a great picture of his dad.
Actually, it was a picture of Frank Funk, the pitching coach of the Colorado Rockies.
Oh, that's who it is. Bobby Cox is on his way to the mound, and Brad Clontz will be called on. Well, it's a good likeness of Frank, too. You guys look and act quite a bit alike. So Embry is out of there, and Clontz comes on to pitch. And we'll be back right after this. Appearance of the year, Mike Bilecki has 31 to lead the team. Mark Wohlers now with 29, Embry with 29. Hammonds is 1 out of 3. The right-hand hitter waits, and it's a ground ball up the middle. Convenient hop for Lemke. Throws to first, gets him by a step. That Hammonds can really run. 2 out, and Chris Hoyles, the batter, looking ahead to the Atlanta half of the 9th inning. Lemke, the pitcher, and Blauser are due against almost certainly Randy Myers. Chris Hoyles 0 for 2. He was hit by a pitch in the 7th. Clontz ready to go to work. The right-hander gets the sign, the stretch. And the pitch is just a little bit outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Well, they've put a final up. The final they have put up is that the Yankees in Florida tied 1-1. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. The pitch. A strike right in there. They're in the bottom of the 10th. It's 1-1. I guess they can't get that on the board. The stretch. The 1-1 pitch to Hoyles. Outside. 2 balls and a strike. .3 Baltimore, our score. The pitch. Swung and missed. A high fastball. 2-2 the count.
Braves' first-round draft choice, Troy Cameron, was at the ballpark tonight. He signed last night. He's going to report to Danville.
The 2-2 pitch. Here it is. Just missed. 3-2. That time it was Clontz who started to walk off the field. But the pitch was low, and the count is full. Hoyles with 7 homers on the year. The stretch and the pitch to him. Strike 3 called over the inside corner. Hoyles called out on strikes, so the Braves bullpen does its job. 1, 2, 3, nothing doing in the 9th. We go to the bottom half with your score. Baltimore 4, Atlanta 3. Couple of defensive changes. Tony Tarasco, the former Brave, checks in to play right field. And Jeffrey Hammond switches to left. V.J. Surhoff is out of the game. It looks like Lenny Webster is going to come on and catch as well as Randy Myers comes on to pitch. Myers is 20 out of 21 in save opportunities. Myers 1-3, a 1.37, 20 saves. 26 in the third innings, 26 hits, 30 strikeouts. So Lenny Webster is in the game to catch as well. A lot of changes here. And here we go. Mark Lemke leads it off. Mike Mordecai is on deck, and then Jeff Blauser. Lemke 1 for 3. Orozco went a third of an inning and got a strikeout.
Braves may be more familiar with Randy Myers than any of the other Orioles pitchers, and Lemke 4 for 11 lifetime against him.
Here we go. Myers ready to go to work. He delivers fastball, fly ball, pretty well hit to center, but not well enough. One pitch, one out as Brady Anderson puts it away. Here's Mordecai. Well, he was robbed of a home run on the road trip. Maybe he can make up for it with one right here. One out in the ninth. Orioles 8 hits, Braves 7 hits. Neither team has made an error. It's 4-3. They got 4 in the 6th. The Braves 1 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th. Myers to Mordecai from the stretch. Here it is. Swung, ground ball, sharply hit. Good play by Ribolet at second, and he throws him out. He comes up limping after that play. We talked earlier, I don't know if it was on radio or TV, about how fast the infield is, and that ball took a terrible hop. He made an outstanding play, 2 out on 2 pitches, and it's all up to Jeff Blauser. Jeff tonight is 1 for 3, and he's been hit by a pitch. Michael Tucker would be next. 2 out, nobody on. The stretch and the pitch to Blauser. Swung, foul back. Myers has thrown 3 pitches, and they've all been hacked at. Pittsburgh beat Kansas City tonight 5-3. Jeff King hit a home run for Kansas City against his former team. Joe Randa, Tony Womack homered. For the Pirates, the pitch to Blauser. Check swing. It's a ball. 1-1 the count. It got away, went all the way to the screen. I didn't know if it was foul tipped or not, but Harry Wendelstedt says no.
And Joe Randa hit one against his former team, the Kansas City Royals.
Right you are, Joe. 1-1 the count. 2 out in the 9th. Again, Myers comes set and delivers. There's a drive, but foul. He got around way too early on that one and hit it into the upper deck down the left field line. That didn't even get as far as the sky field. That's how far out in front he was. And Myers ahead 1-2 with 2 out in the 9th. The stretch. For the first time tonight, fans of both teams are cheering. Myers gets the sign from Lenny Webster. The stretch. The 1-2 pitch. Struck him out with a change, and the ball game is over. And the Orioles have beaten the Braves in the first Interleague game